Welcome the rare gems, beware the fury of a patient woman. Sigma females are often the epitome of calm, self-control, and quiet strength. They don't show their emotions easily, and they rarely lose their composure. But even the most resilient can reach their breaking point. When a Sigma female snaps, it's not a loud explosion. It's a subtle yet profound shift that reveals a side of her that few ever imagined. This isn't about sudden anger or wild outbursts. It's about a deeply rooted response to the pressures she's been silently enduring. The dark reality behind her mask is complex, calculated, and can leave a lasting impact on everyone around her. If you've ever wondered what happens when someone so composed finally hits their limit, this is the moment when another true power of a Sigma female is revealed. Without further ado, let's get started. Rare gems. At number 1, annihilation of emotional attachments. When Sigma females reach their snapping point, they don't simply walk away from relationships, they annihilate them completely. This isn't your typical cutting someone off or distancing themselves out of anger. It's a deep, irreversible detachment that erases every emotional bond they once had. To those on the receiving end, it feels like they've never existed in her world, like every shared memory and connection has been wiped away. This emotional annihilation is not a reactionary move. It's calculated and intentional. Sigma females don't do things halfway. When they decide they're done with someone, they make sure there's no going back. The detachment is so complete, so profound, that it can be chilling to witness. One moment, you might have believed you were close, and the next, it's as if you've been erased from her life. And what makes this even more unsettling is how seamlessly she can do it. There's no drawn-out goodbye, no emotional drama, just a cold, clean break that leaves nothing behind. For the Sigma female, this isn't about holding a grudge or seeking revenge. It's about protecting her peace, ensuring that nothing and no one who doesn't align with her values or priorities remains in her life. Once she makes that decision, the emotional door slams shut and there's no reopening it. The person she once knew no longer exists in her reality, and for her, that's the final word. Number 2, rewriting the narrative. When a Sigma female snaps, it's not just an emotional reaction, it's a profound moment of realization. In that instant, she understands that the story she's been living no longer serves her. The roles she's played, the identities she's worn, and the expectations others have placed on her all suddenly feel like chains holding her back. It's as if she's been living in a script written by someone else, and she's finally ready to tear it up. This moment of clarity isn't just about making changes, it's about complete reinvention. She doesn't simply tweak her life, she discards everything that no longer aligns with who she truly is. The old identities, the labels others have given her, even the person she thought she had to be, they all get left behind. It's a rebirth, but not in the dramatic, tearful way you might expect. Instead, it's calm, purposeful, and unstoppable. What makes this transformation so powerful is the Sigma female's ability to fully embrace her new narrative. She doesn't look back or second-guess her decisions. She steps into her new identity with confidence, reshaping her life on her own terms. This isn't about escaping her past. It's about reclaiming her future. The reinvention is total. Mindset, relationships, goals, all are realigned to fit the person she has now become. And once she's rewritten her story, she never lets anyone else hold the pen again. Number 3, burning bridges without regret. When a Sigma female reaches her snapping point, she's unafraid to burn bridges that others might cling to. For her, severing ties isn't a sign of defeat or loss, it's a necessary step towards reclaiming her peace. Unlike others who may hesitate, fearing the repercussions of cutting people off, she understands that some connections aren't worth maintaining, especially when they've been the source of her turmoil. Burning bridges, for her, is not done out of spite or anger, but out of a deep understanding that her well-being comes first. She doesn't dwell on the past or second-guess her decisions. Once she realizes a relationship, a job, or even a friendship no longer serves her, she doesn't just walk away, she ensures there's no path back. This might seem harsh to those on the outside, but for the Sigma female, it's about survival, emotional and mental. What sets her apart is her ability to do this without regret. While others might agonize over the loss of a connection, she moves forward with a clear mind, knowing she's better off without those who pushed her to this point. There's a sense of finality in her actions that leaves no room for reconciliation or second chances. It's not that she's heartless, it's that she values her peace above all else. In her mind, burning bridges isn't a loss, it's clearing the way for a future free of unnecessary weight. And once those bridges are gone, she never looks back. Number 4. The mask slips, but the persona remains. When a Sigma female reaches her snapping point, it's a rare and powerful moment. The mask she's worn so skillfully, the one that shows her as calm, composed, and in control, may finally slip, revealing the darker emotions she's kept hidden. Anger, frustration, and pain might flash through, and for a moment, the world gets a glimpse of the turmoil she's been concealing. But even as the mask slips, something remarkable happens. The core of who she is remains unchanged. While others might lose themselves in a flood of emotions, the Sigma female holds on to her true persona. That calm, detached, and strategic nature that defines her doesn't disappear. Instead, it becomes the anchor that keeps her steady, even in the midst of her emotional storm. This doesn't mean she's unaffected by what's happening. The slip of the mask is real, and the emotions behind it are genuine. But instead of letting them take over, she channels them into something purposeful. She may appear vulnerable for a moment, but it's only a fleeting glimpse. Her sharp mind quickly regains control, assessing the situation with the same strategic precision she's known for. In the end, the Sigma female remains true to herself. The world may see a crack in her facade, but it's just that, a crack, not a break. The mask may slip, but her persona remains firmly in place, guiding her through the storm with the same strength and intelligence she's always had. Number 5. Unapologetic liberation. When a Sigma female snaps, it's not about losing control, it's about finally breaking free. For her, snapping isn't a chaotic outburst or a moment of weakness. It's a powerful declaration that she's done living by other people's rules and expectations. What might look like a breakdown to those on the outside is, in reality, her liberation. She has spent so much time playing by the rules set by society, adhering to moral constraints, and meeting the expectations of those around her. But when she snaps, all of that goes out the window. She stops caring about fitting into the mold that others have tried to shape her into. Instead, she embraces who she truly is, without any apologies or explanations. This moment is transformative. It's not just about shedding old roles. It's about embracing her true self with unapologetic confidence. She no longer feels the need to conform or please others. Instead, she sets her own terms, guided by her own values and desires. The freedom she gains is immense. She's no longer weighed down by the opinions or judgments of others. For the Sigma female, snapping is her way of reclaiming her life. She doesn't view it as a moment of defeat, but as a powerful act of self-liberation. And she doesn't look back with regret or second thoughts. In her eyes, this is the most honest, unfiltered version of herself, finally free to live on her own terms, unapologetically and without restraint. Number 6. Their boundaries become razor-sharp. When a Sigma female is pushed to her limit, something profound shifts within her. Her boundaries, which may have once been flexible and accommodating, suddenly become razor-sharp. This transformation is not a temporary reaction, but a permanent change. Once you've crossed her line, there's no going back. Imagine a fortress with walls that were once welcoming, allowing those she trusted to come and go freely. But when those same people betray her trust or push her too far, those walls don't just close, they become impenetrable. It's as if she's flipped a switch, and the warmth and openness you once knew are replaced by a cold, unyielding barrier. This isn't about pettiness or holding a grudge, it's about self-preservation. For the Sigma female, once trust is broken, it's broken for good. There's no room for apologies or second chances. She understands that giving someone another chance only opens the door for further hurt, so she chooses to protect herself by locking you out completely. Being on the outside isn't just about physical distance. It's emotional and psychological. You're no longer part of her inner world, and no matter how hard you try, you'll never regain that access. The door is closed, and the key is thrown away. The lesson here is clear. With a Sigma female, once you've crossed the line, there's no turning back. Number 7. Invisible collapse. A Sigma female's breakdown is often invisible to the outside world, hidden behind a mask of composure and routine. To those around her, nothing seems amiss. She goes about her day, fulfilling responsibilities, engaging in conversations, and keeping up appearances with a calm that suggests everything is perfectly fine. But beneath this surface lies a different story, one of quiet despair and internal chaos. This hidden collapse is not a dramatic meltdown or a visible cry for help. Instead, it's a slow, silent unraveling that takes place deep within her. She's too skilled at managing her emotions to let anyone see the cracks. Her face shows no sign of the storm brewing inside, and her actions betray none of the turmoil she's experiencing. Yet, despite her outward composure, she feels like she's falling apart. Every day becomes a struggle to hold it together, to keep functioning while her mind races with doubts, fears, and overwhelming stress. It's a battle that she fights alone, in silence, because she's conditioned herself to believe that showing weakness is not an option. This invisible collapse is a silent scream, a desperate plea for help that never crosses her lips. She's mastered the art of hiding her pain so well that no one even thinks to ask if she's okay. And so, she continues to function, appear composed, and maintain her daily routines, all while she's breaking down inside, longing for someone to see through the facade and offer the support she desperately needs but can't bring herself to ask for. Number 8. Identity erasure. When a Sigma female reaches her snapping point, it's not just a moment of emotional release, it can be an act of complete transformation. Unlike others who might lash out or seek comfort in familiar places, she takes a different path. She erases her identity entirely. It's as if she decides that the person she was no longer serves her, and so she sheds that former self like old skin, leaving behind everything that once defined her. This process is as drastic as it sounds. Relationships that once seemed unbreakable, ties that anchored her to a particular life or role, all of it is discarded without a second thought. To the outside world, it's as if she disappears, leaving behind only the faintest trace of who she used to be. Friends, colleagues, even family might struggle to recognize the person she becomes, or more accurately, the person she allows herself to be reborn as. This isn't a gradual change, it's a sudden and complete erasure. The Sigma female understands that to truly move forward, she can't be held back by the remnants of a life that no longer fits her. So, she starts over, rebuilding herself from the ground up with a new identity that better aligns with her inner self. What's left is a ghost of who she was, a shadow that no longer holds power over her. She's free to redefine herself on her own terms, unburdened by past expectations or relationships. This erasure is not a loss, but a bold step toward self-liberation. Number 9. Breaking the silence. Sigma females are known for their quiet strength, often taking the role of silent observers in the world around them. They watch, listen, and absorb everything, storing away countless observations and insights that most people overlook. They don't feel the need to constantly voice their opinions or assert their presence. Instead, they prefer to analyze and understand the situation fully before acting. This silence isn't a sign of weakness, far from it. It's a sign of their deep intellect and strategic thinking. But when a Sigma female reaches her breaking point, that silence can shatter. It's as though the floodgates suddenly open, and all those years of quiet observation come rushing out in a torrent of insights, truths, and realizations. People who thought they knew her are often shocked by the depth of her knowledge and the sharpness of her mind. What they see as a moment of emotional release is, in reality, a powerful revelation of her true intellectual strength. This isn't just a burst of pent-up frustration. It's a calculated, strategic move. The Sigma female chooses this moment to break her silence because she knows the impact it will have. Her words are precise, her arguments well-founded, and her insights cutting. She reveals the full extent of her understanding, leaving those around her stunned by how much she's seen and understood while they were busy talking. In breaking her silence, the Sigma female doesn't just vent, she reclaims her power. It's a moment of clarity where she not only reveals what she knows, but also reminds everyone that she's always been in control, silently observing and waiting for the perfect moment to speak her truth. Number 10. Unleashing the inner storm. When a Sigma female finally snaps, it's not an impulsive outburst. It's a calculated and deliberate release of emotions that have been building up over time. On the surface, she's always been the picture of calm and composure, never letting anything disturb her tranquil exterior. She's the one who stays cool under pressure, who handles challenges with grace, and who rarely shows what's really going on inside. But beneath that calm surface, a storm has been brewing. Every slight, every frustration, every unspoken word has been quietly stored away, like water filling a reservoir. She's been holding it all in, maintaining control, waiting for the right moment. But eventually the pressure becomes too much, and that's when the storm is unleashed. When this happens, it's not chaotic or reckless. It's a powerful, intentional release of everything she's been holding back. The calm exterior she's known for shatters, revealing the depth of her emotions and the intensity of her feelings. This isn't just anger, it's a profound expression of everything she's kept bottled up, from frustration to sorrow to disappointment. But even in this moment of raw emotion, there's a sense of control. The Sigma female doesn't lose herself in the storm, she commands it. Every word, every action during this release is purposeful. She's letting others see the storm she's been hiding, but on her terms. It's a reminder that beneath her calm exterior lies a force to be reckoned with. A powerful, complex woman who knows when and how to unleash the inner storm that's been brewing for far too long. In conclusion, in the enigmatic world of the Sigma female, strength often lies in silence, and power is veiled behind a calm exterior. But when she snaps, it's a rare and profound event that reveals the depths of her complexity. This is not a simple outburst, but a deliberate act of transformation, where years of quiet observation, strategic thinking, and hidden emotions come to the surface. The world around her may see a mask shatter, but what truly emerges is the core of who she is, a force of nature, unbound and unapologetically authentic. In that moment, the dark reality behind the mask is unveiled. The Sigma female is not just strong and independent, but deeply introspective, fiercely intelligent, and capable of profound change. When she snaps, it's a powerful reminder that her silence was never weakness, but the quiet preparation of a woman who knows her own worth and won't hesitate to reclaim her true self when the time comes. In breaking the silence, in shedding her former identity, she doesn't lose herself. She becomes more of who she was always meant to be. A figure of formidable resilience and unyielding self-awareness, ready to face the world on her own terms. Thanks, Rare Gems, for tuning in. See you in the next video. Bye, and stay blessed.